Good afternoon, ladies and gents, welcome to the channel. This channel is called Bushcraft with Steve Outdoors. Not the other guy, it keeps getting deleted. On this channel we explore all things bushcraft, cooking, outdoor fun and gear reviews. Now ladies and gents, if you have just happened upon this channel, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoy the content so far. For you guys that have sought me out for a third time, a special thanks to you. Hopefully third time's a charm, as they say, so we'll see how this one goes. So in today's video, boys and girls, we are going to be looking at the modified Dutch Army tent. That's been modified now for around 3 years, and I'll be honest with you, in that time it has not been used once. So I brought a couple of items out, a nice tin of chicken meatballs, a couple of coffees and a carbon monoxide detector, just to make sure I am not going to die to death in that tent when I come to use it. So I will also be discussing in this video the whereabouts of the last channel. Some of you eagle-eyed viewers that have followed the channel for a while now may have noticed I have only just started uploading the old videos again. No new content so far, and this will be the first piece of new content, so we'll talk about that as well. But first guys, I've just had a massive realisation. I brought the hot tent, I brought the hot tent stove, I did not bring any wood, I brought no saw, so we've got a lot of twig collecting to do. So I'll bring you back when I've set the tent up, because that is going to take a while and when I've gathered enough firewood to get this video going. See you soon. Right ladies and gents, so this is the Dutch Bushcraft tent. No, it's not. Right ladies and gents, so this is the Dutch Army tent. This is a 1994 edition. I'm not going to bore you too much with the specs and dimensions, because you're probably well versed with this tent if you are part of the Bushcraft community. All I will tell you though is that this is not your typical Dutch Army tent. On previous videos, which I've not got access to unfortunately anymore, this was discussed, and I made this aware to you guys that this is actually a, I think it's a later model, because as you can see from there, usually on the normal Dutch Army tent, the zips are exposed along the bottom and along the front of the curtains. As you can see here, these are all sealed with the same fabric as the tent is constructed from, on Velcro. So this thing is tighter, watertight than a duck's arse. I've had this in several downpours now, just testing out in the back garden. I've actually been camping in it as well, and not a single drop of rain has ingressed into the tent. Absolutely fantastic. As you can see here as well, on the modded or the updated version of the Dutch Army tent, the flaps that run across the front of the tent usually come in and join in at the corner of the tent here. As you can see, this is a full flap of fabric running up and down. Again, for you guys that have followed the old channel, I do apologise, you've seen this before, but we are about to add the modded kitchen area to this tent, which from what I can remember was a pain in the backside, so I will bring you back once again when that is complete. Right guys, so as you can see we're all set up now, and to be honest that was not the ball ache, I remember it as. As soon as you get these two zips connected either side, it's pretty much the same as pegging this one out. We're just repeating the process. And there we go. So we've got a kitchen area, as you can see, with the stove jack we've attached there, and we've got a very large compartment for sleeping and all your gear, things like that. Welcome back. First of all, let me apologise for any background noise you may hear today guys. I am on the local field just testing this today. Right, so if you watched the last upload, which was the last time I used this particular hot tent stove, you will see in that video my chimney folded faster than the Titan submersible. Since then I have had to repair it, so I have salvaged it. I've had to cut about 2 foot of pipe off the top where it folded over, which means the pipe is a lot shorter now, which actually does have its pros. The draw is still good, it makes the stove lighter and it makes it less susceptible to wind as well, especially on this tent with the flue that holds that chimney together nice and tight. But as you can see there, we've got loads of room inside. All this side can be used for your storage, your gear, food, stuff like that, firewood, and then you've got your sleeping quarters on the other side. I have actually, I forgot to mention, cut the curtains off the inside of the outer tent, just to alleviate a bit of the weight. But it doesn't make it any harder to put together, and again it just takes a bit of weight off the kitchen side. So that is the only mod I have done to that. This side hasn't been treated in any way, but hopefully the heat from the actual stove will dry this out faster than it can actually get saturated. But again, I'm not sleeping in here, so I'm not fussed if any water gets in anyway. So guys, the aim of today's video again is to just test this, make sure it's safe to use. So we're going to get the hot tent stove going now. I have brought the carbon monoxide detector. I'm not sure how this is going to fare. It does go off randomly at our house, but I think that's because the very first time I used this, I used it under an old hot tent stove and it kind of melted a little bit. So we'll see if we get any signal of that today, but let's go ahead, break some of these cinders up again. I've literally just had to go around the field cutting all my firewood up using my trusty Victorian ox saw. Did the job, and hopefully we should have enough firewood to get this stove going for at least a couple of hours and to get some test results. If all goes well, I cannot wait to use this in the winter, which we've not had the best of summer. We've not had much sun, more rain I'd say than sun, so hopefully we should get an early winter as well, and hopefully this time some snow. Also, another reason why I want to use this stove in this configuration, guys, is this is a titanium stove and I have used it on several occasions, and as you know, titanium does tend to warp and lose its shape over time, and I have developed, where the hinges are along the stove, quite significant gaps in the hinges and the walls of the stove. So I'm going to see if that impairs on the performance, because if again that carbon monoxide detector does go off, then this stove is no longer safe to use, which is a waste of 580 quid I think I paid for this, maybe 3 years ago. I have had some good use out of it, but still, for that price you'd expect a good 10 years out of it I'd want anyway. Right, I think we've got away using one of them wax pads. We have had rain in my area in the UK in the last couple of days, so a lot of the wood is a little damp. You can hear that draw on that flute already. We've also brought a couple of nice, lovely choice coffees, thanks to my beautiful daughter. Thank you for them. Little Father's Day gift. And we brought a fine selection of Asda's chicken meatballs, which we'll get on the stove in a bit. And as the weatherman promised, guys, it has just started to rain, so we can also test the waterproofness of the kitchen area. So 2 for 1 today. Right guys, while we're all cosy and comfy and warm in the tent, and I've got your attention waiting for this kettle to brew, let's have a quick chat about what happened to the first and second channel. I don't want to go too far into it, I've already gone over this in the second channel. But for you guys that do follow the channel, you may be aware, well, you will be aware, my very first channel, which had just garnered over 5,000 subs and was monetized and was doing very well. Prior to the couple of months, the channel was hacked. The channel was deleted and I lost all content, and I was pretty much ready to give it up then. But in January I decided to start a new channel by the same name, probably my fault. And the channel was again doing very well. I got up to 800 odd subs, nearly 1,000 subs, and almost close to monetization status again, when I woke up one morning to go on my channel to check the analytics, and I'd received a very kind email from YouTube informing me that they had reviewed all of my content on the new channel and decided it went against numerous of their policies and it was severe in some cases, whatever that means. So went backwards and forwards with the YouTube team on Twitter trying to establish why exactly my channel was again deleted, as they had informed me this time the channel was not going to be reinstated and it was gone for good. So when I actually got to spoke to a person and not a robot, they informed me that because my channel was related to another channel that was previously banned, bear that in mind, banned, my channel would not be reinstated. So that led me to believe the first time my first channel was hacked, I'm going to say it was probably taken down by YouTube themselves, because they just don't want small content creators doing too well on their channel. Hence the second channel had got up to again nearly 1,000 subs and near monetization status, and they decided to just nip it in the bud because all that happened within a couple of months. So that is again YouTube not playing by their own rules, and this is why I have started the new channel. And you eagle-eyed viewers will have noticed, if you're not new to the channel, that I have only been uploading my previous content, which I was lucky enough to back up this time. So I hope you can understand, there's no point in me at the minute banging out fresh content, putting all that time and effort into it for YouTube to just come along and say, nah, not having that, off you go. So for the time being I am just uploading my old content, and if I feel at a certain point where the channel is safe in the water and it's safe to continue, I will start putting regular new content out. So this will be the first piece of new content, and this will probably be uploaded next week. I'll tell you what guys, I have got the curtain open on the back of the stove here, and it is still absolutely roasting in this tent. Fantastic. Cannot wait to use this in the winter months coming. We've not really had much of a summer. I think we've had more rain than sun in the last couple of weeks. The ground is very damp and the wood is also very damp. In fact, I've had to go around and bleeding cut all my firewood. I forgot everything today. In typical fashion, as you do. But yeah, I've gone round, collected all my firewood using my trusty bloody Victorian Ox Huntsman. Did the job, and the stove is cracking. That kettle should be boiling soon. So yeah, what we're going to do, I'm going to have this brew, get the kettle going. I'm going to seal the tent up, sit outside in my chair and enjoy the brew, and then see if we don't get anything from the carbon monoxide alarm. Fingers crossed we don't. Like I say, with the stove being constructed from titanium, over the many uses it has had, I have had good use out of that stove for the price. We have developed quite a few large gaps around the hinge area because it is a fold down stove, and I just want to make sure when I do close that stove off at night, put it in slumber mode, that no carbon monoxide is going to be emitted from them hinge holes. So fingers crossed that's okay. I can hear. Oh. Yes, we're nearly at a boil. So apart from that guys, Bushcraft show. Yes, I went to the Bushcraft show this year. Had a fantastic time. I met a lot of you guys again. Thank you very much for coming over and saying hello. That was my pleasure. Highlight, as you know, if you follow me on Instagram, my highlight of the Bushcraft show was meeting Ray Mays, the godfather of Bushcraft. He was doing a book signing that I was not aware of, so I very luckily got a book signed by him, and he also held my knives in his hand. Very proud moment. So yeah, really good entertainment. I met some really good people. So guys, coffee. We are on either a Brazilian or a Colombian. I think we'll go with the Colombia. We're on a boil. Lovely. So my stove still boils water. That's nice. That's nice. Oh, we don't want to do that yet, do we? No, we don't. I want to open it first. I've not had these for a while. Really nice coffees, these guys. I do highly recommend If you are into your coffee, do try these. What else we got? Brew Company coffees. Basically just brew in a bag, pour your water in, forget about them for as long as you want to brew it for. Go about your business, come back, pour it, black or milk, and you're golden. So not much has gone on in the world of me, guys. I have been picking up plenty of overtime at work. I am trying currently to get a motor on the road, which is proving near impossible because of the cost of living increase and everything is just absolutely sky high at the minute. And the only reason I need a car is so I can get a bit further afield to create new content for you guys. So apart from that, I live pretty local to all amenities, so I don't really need a car other than that reason. So I've also rekindled my love with gaming. Oh yes, just got myself a new console and I have been absolutely addicted to DayZ. That is an awesome game, proper survival simulator with zombies. If any of you guys play that, do let me know down in the comments. Try and share a server with you one night. But the first time I played it, it was bleeding. I was dying of salmonella, flu, cold, and within 2 weeks I learnt the mechanics, and I've been currently surviving for at least 3 weeks now in the wild. I've even grown a beard. I've got loads of good loot. What have I got? I've got a 22LR hunting rifle, I've got a hatchet, I've got a knife, a lovely canvas backpack. I'm just kitting myself out as like a survival bushcrafter, and so far so good. Really good game. Really good game. So yeah. Let's get some of these in, and then the rain has just started again. And then it seems to be burning fuel a lot quicker this time, but I have also modded the stove with the titanium that was left from the chimney. I've actually put a secondary burn channel in the top. I can't remember what they call them, but the stove with that mod actually gets used back to front, so the flue would be at the front near the door, and it just recirculates the smoke inside and burns it as a secondary fuel, a bit like a gasifier stove, and it also keeps the heat in the stove for a lot longer, and it does work quite well. I can definitely tell the difference using it in its standard guise here. It does seem to be burning through all that fuel pretty quickly. So we'll get this stopped up and then we'll close the doors down. But I'm glad having to cut that chimney down hasn't been a detriment to the drawer. Still draws very well. Guys, I have just thought of an absolutely fantastic name for this setup. How about this? And hear me out. Twin cam. Because it's a twin camo tent setup. Twin cam. Shut up, I'm keeping it. Twin cam. Do you know, ladies and gents, even though we are literally only 100 yards from my house, this area on this back field is absolutely stunning. The whole place used to be a working farm a long time ago. I believe it had buildings on it, which I can't believe because every time I try and stick a stake in the floor, I hit a brick. So yeah, loads of wildlife and loads of different trees and plants, flowers. It's a really nice place. I might do a camp on here one night. It's ideal actually, having a surrounding like this, even if you're just coming out to test new gear, because as you know, you don't want to be going too far afield with new gear you haven't tested at home first, just in case you do have an accident or the equipment fails. It's better to fail close to home than miles away. But yeah, I think a nice hammock camp is in order here. chicken meatballs for the win. Right boys and girls, that pretty much wraps this short video up. Hope you've enjoyed it. Just a quick look at this new tent. That store's been running for well over an hour now. I have closed the damper and the front down to a point where it's slowly burning the wood, and that carbon monoxide detector has not sounded, and I have tested it, it is working, so that can only be good news. Forgot to mention as well guys, you may well remember a video that I've not uploaded yet. For you guys that have followed the channel, this was the old tripod that I used for the camera, and as you know I got a new tripod. These are actually extendable legs, telescopic legs off the tripod, and they work absolutely fantastic for the shelter. If you own one of these, you'll know you either get the wooden poles or you'll get the steel, two-section steel pole with the spring in between. And they weigh at least, I'd say, nearly a kilo each, if not more. These weigh well under 500, 400 grams. And it's a perfect height for the shelter, so yeah. More weight knocked off the shelter overall. Still not something to be carried about, as you know. These weigh, I think, anywhere up to 7 or 8 kilo each. And that's all because of that reinforced rubber floor. But yeah, absolutely stonking tent for the price. If you are after one, I'd get onto Military Mart and see if they actually have one of these ones in stock. I think last time I spoke to them, they have actually separated the stock now, so they'll have some of the ones on the front, the standard ones, and they'll have some of these. And I think you pay an extra tenner for this version, but I'd highly recommend it. Like I say, water off a duck's back. This has been treated with Fabsil Gold, and it's been in torrential rain downpours for a number of days, and not one bead of water has got inside the tent. Well worth it. So that's it for this one guys. So the next one, you stay safe, and as always, stay crafty. Now bugger off and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, bye bye. Twink and 10.